Hello and welcome to Bad Movie Brothers. I am Eric.
And I'm Chad.
And this week we watched The Wizard of Speed and Time. I did not like this movie.
I thought it was called The Wizard of Space and Time until the end of the movie.
I don't know how you thought that when they showed the title of the movie like 3 different times.
I wasn't paying attention, I guess.
Well, that's fair. That is fair. Now, so for the viewers at home, this movie came to our attention last episode.
Correct.
Because it was the only trailer before the movie Thunderground.
Right.
And it was one of the greatest trailers we had ever seen in our lives.
So great that I didn't even think it was real or existed.
Right. It seemed like it was a made-up trailer.
Made on the same film stock as Roger Rabbit and Star Wars. Filmed around the world in a special process that is technically unexplainable.
Right, yeah, like a UHF type trailer.
Right. And as it turned out, it sort of was.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because so I did not like the movie.
Right.
What did you...
Are we talking about the movie just by itself or with the knowledge that Wikipedia gave us?
I don't feel like Wikipedia told me anything I didn't kind of glean from the movie.
Okay. So let's combine it all.
All right. So what your impressions?
I didn't like it because I didn't like the wizard. Didn't
No.
like him. He was super creepy.
He was pretty creepy.
Yeah.
He was pretty creepy. So the idea of this movie is this is a movie written, directed, edited, special effected, and starring this dude, Mike Jitlov.
Who hates everybody.
Yes. Yeah, and we will get to that.
Yeah.
Because I think that is the central point of the movie.
Right.
And he is a special effects guy who has done a feature film that is basically the true story of his time as an independent special effects guy trying to break into Disney.
Correct.
Now, in real life, he did.
Yeah, and he may or may not have magical powers.
Oh well, that's a whole other ballpark.
Still not sure.
That's a whole other ball game. So the whole movie is him fighting this, working with this evil, comically, cartoonishly evil.
Yeah, he's fighting the powers that be.
Right. He's fighting the powers that be through the form of this evil TV producer, because he just wants to create this short film full of special effects.
It's Mike Jitlov versus Harvey Bookman.
Yes, it is, and that's the story.
Right.
And I think that you're right that a huge problem for me in the movie is not so much that Mike is creepy, although he kind of is.
Yeah, he looks weird too.
Well, but here, you already brought up UHF.
Yeah.
This movie to me is the opposite side of the coin of UHF.
Okay.
They're very similar movies. Because UHF is about Weird Al fighting the powers that be with his rinky-dink TV station where they make all kinds of wacky TV shows.
Right, yeah.
Weird Al, certainly a weird-looking dude.
Yeah.
No weirder than Mike Jitlov.
But Weird Al's weird, funny looking to me. Isn't he weird, funny looking to you? Like his crazy hair and crazy
this
faces.
Guy wasn't funny looking to you?
No, he looked like the bird on the Muppets, the blue bird, kind of.
Sam the Eagle?
Yeah, just in the green jacket.
I can buy that. Now, when I rewatched it today, I had not noticed before. Did you notice his brother?
Yeah, are they twins?
Hey, Greg! Hi, big brother.
Hey, Greg.
Hi, Brian. Uh-oh.
Who looks identical to him?
Yeah, I saw it.
But according to IMDb, is a different guy.
Yeah, the first time I watched it, I just thought it was him again.
Right, yeah.
Split screen.
Right. Okay. This movie, I don't even know where to begin or end with this movie. I mean, going back to UHF, UHF is one of my favorite movies. My job here at this TV station is essentially Weird Al's job.
Right.
So my life is patterned after the movie UHF in many ways.
Okay.
I have a lot of affinity for it. But where that movie is this fun romp I think The Wizard of Speed and Time, it's a movie about how making movies is boring.
And hard and negative.
Yes.
And everything.
It is an underdog story, but whereas like Weird Al is just, he's doing what he's doing and he just keeps getting more successful, this is a movie about a guy who just has stuff heaped on top of him over and over again.
Yeah.
But instead of his reaction being like, well, I'm going to power through and do it anyway, I feel like his reaction every time that something happens to him is, well, this is a huge injustice, but I know how things should be.
This is Dora Belair with the Dr. Magic Pilot. We moved the deadline for bid submission, so if you want me to see your effects reel, you'd better get it in today, okay?
Egad! 10 seconds and my whole world goes crazy.
There you go.
I had 2 weeks of work left and they moved everything up. It would have been perfect, a perfect demonstration reel. Now all I can show them is a work print. Oh, Gad, what a way to make a living.
And here's what blows my mind about that whole process. This guy has already made movies before.
Yeah, well,
he knows how to do it, but this time he can't handle it not going the way he wants it to.
Not only that, but the movie gets really gets mired in the minutia of movie making.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite parts, if you can say that, of the movie is how he rails against the unions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a very anti-union movie.
Yeah.
Like we like the first time, so early in the movie he takes his film to a screening room to show the evil producer what he can do. And it's a union projectionist, and so he keeps messing up the movie and destroying the film because he's an idiot because he's in a union.
Right.
And later there's a whole montage of him trying to join unions that's weird and comical and bizarre.
All the union leaders are played by the same guy.
Right.
And that's a huge deal on Wikipedia, and to me, I just didn't care.
Right, and he's photographed so that he's like higher up and looking down at at the wizard, if we can call him that.
He has magical powers in the movie.
He does have. We'll get to these magical powers because that is one of the most confounding things, in the whole movie to me. But like, it just keeps going on and on about the unions and everything, and how the unions make it impossible to make a movie and everything, even though hundreds of movies are made every year.
Way better movies that last longer than the 10 minutes that he's trying to make.
Right, because he's trying to produce this short film for a TV special in the movie.
Yeah.
But not only that, he makes a movie.
Yeah.
Like, my biggest problem is that there is this movie, The Wizard of Speed and Time, that we just watched, that he made outside of the Hollywood studio system.
Yes.
It worked.
Right. He knows how to do it.
Right. Like, the thing that he is railing against and has all this trouble with is a thing that he made happen.
Right. When you're telling me how bad Hollywood is and movie making is and how hard it is, that makes me not really care about your movie right now.
Well, and a big theme of this movie that he keeps coming back to is that he wants to do everything himself.
Right.
He wants to star in it. He wants to do the camera work. He wants to do, like, whereas if this were a movie just about how a guy wants to make special effects, it would be a lot more effective. Do you remember?
Okay.
So when we were kids,
all right,
on Nickelodeon, on Saturday afternoons, they had about 4 movies that they would just show over and over again. And
hit me with them.
And I want to say one was called like The Monster Maker, and it was about a kid who had a stuffed like dinosaur that was a Muppet that could talk to him, and he wanted to get involved in special effects, and there was a big scary dragon. Nothing? All right. Well, anyway, my point is you could do a movie about a guy who just wants to do special effects, or you could do like what UHF does, where Weird Al is hardly trying to do everything alone. It's about this like crazy community of people who make weird TV shows about getting hit with a fire hose, or teaching poodles how to fly.
And here's the deal. I'm going to hit you with a dead ironic thing here.
Okay, all right.
it's ironic that he went through all this trouble to make this movie to basically show off his skills. And where's this guy been ever since? It didn't work out. It's ironic that it didn't work. It worked out for the other guys.
I'll tell you, I can't tell because a lot of times, like your IMDb, when you get involved in like effects work, sometimes you don't always get like screen credit for that. Okay. So I don't really know. I do know he worked on Ghost, which was a pretty big movie.
Yeah, but in Wikipedia it says like 2 other guys that went on to like other things, but not him.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But yeah, he really has a chip on his shoulder.
Because we still haven't mentioned that there's a love story in this movie.
Well, of course there's a love story in this movie. There's a tacked-on love story.
There's a bedroom scene, a chase scene.
Well, the love story of this movie is Mike Jitlov's love story with himself.
Yeah.
Because, like we already talked about, he always knows what the best way to do something is. And the other characters are constantly reinforcing that.
Right.
Because, like, there's all this anti-union stuff, and then there's the scene where he goes to pick up some film cans, and the sympathetic director guy with the studio is there, and he says, oh, you can't pick those film cans up because that's a union job. And then you can't drive them away because it has to be in a union truck. And he's like, oh, you used to be able to do things in this town, and now you can't.
Because I know what you're going to say, but can you imagine what it's like to direct this insanity? Everything's changed.
Which is the same thing that, Mike's been saying the whole time.
Right.
And then all the way to the point where at the end of the movie, after he's won, his TV special has aired.
Okay.
His friend, his creepy, bemulleted mustache guy friend.
Brian or Steve?
The one with the pizza place.
Steve,
who reminds me a lot of our Uncle Jerry.
Okay.
Steve has organized an entire, like a theater full of strangers to sing an original song about how great The Wizard of Speed and Time is.
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
We're here to cheer a wizard, the Wizard of Hollywood. We're finding joy and laughter in our wild neighborhood. In green jacket and tennis shoes, a dream maker, a magical muse. All lights and sound will dance around the Wizard of Hollywood.
I don't know. I didn't like the movie. I don't know.
And it seems like we're in the minority.
Well, Eric, there's like 30,000 people that have watched it on YouTube. That's not a very big.
Well, but there's only a couple of thumbs downs. Like the rating scores on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes are at least respectable.
The only people that have seen this movie are like the special effects nerds that this is how they started wanting to do that
but
shit.
I suppose, but that was the other thing to me that really confused me. Now, so clearly you've done a little research. Did you notice what year this movie came out in?
The movie came out in '89.
Right.
It was filmed in 1983. But the short was filmed in like 78.
Right. The original short that this is all kind of based on and sprung from is from 79. He filmed the movie from 83 to 88. Okay. So both the original short and this feature-length movie came out after Star Wars.
Right.
This is a movie about special effects.
Yeah, if you watch in the movie, you can see like Star Wars billboards and stuff.
Right. And that's the thing that really, really surprises me is like the effects are fine.
Yeah.
But they're compared to the other special effects of the day, they're really old-fashioned.
They're high school news show level special effects.
I mean, these are effects that you can do in camera if you have the time and the patience.
Right.
That then and now are fairly easy to do. Now he takes them to a different level. He's got a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stop motion animation where he's also kind of stop motion animating himself, which I'm sure was a giant pain. And I don't mean to say that the effects are bad. It's just in a movie from 1988 about special effects, it's surprising how old-fashioned the effects are.
Yeah, this movie should have been made in the 50s.
Yeah, if it were that would be a better movie.
Yeah,
I'd be interested in that movie.
I'll say one thing they did really well was the music. I liked their music.
I liked most of the music. I did not like...
The first song about hating Hollywood was bad.
Thank you.
But...
Thank you. Because the movie opens with this really cheery song.
Yeah.
Where all the lyrics are super cynical and say things like, sign your name and sign away your soul.
Yep, and become one of the faces of the millions or something.
Right, yeah.
Studios and movie agents sign your name and sign your soul and add you to their cast of thousands hoping for that starring role. Is it worth the fame and strife to sacrifice your private life? Risk your friends and true love dream for minutes on a silver screen. That's the Hollywood scene.
Terrible. And, you know, all the music I'm talking about is the Wizard music, where it's like his phone has the same ring as the Wizard song.
That's all good. And and the parts in the movie where we take a break from the movie to watch like some of the short films he made.
Animato and stuff.
Yeah, Animato and
Time
Traveler and Wizard of Speed and Time.
Yeah.
While they're old-fashioned, but they're entertaining. You know, they're well done and interesting, and they're old-fashioned, but there's a charm in that is completely missing in the larger movie.
Like you mentioned, they would have been perfect for early 90s Nickelodeon afternoon kids shows.
No kid is going to sit through this movie.
No, I'm not talking about the movie for that. I'm talking about just those shorts.
Oh yeah, those shorts, absolutely. And those shorts are just fine. And there's a scene too where he has a garage sale to raise money. And he's selling this this spaceship that's shaped like Mickey Mouse's head.
Uh-huh.
That was a thing that was like one of the first things they showed on the Disney Channel. That was a prop he made for Disney.
Okay.
For like a short he successfully and professionally animated for Walt Disney.
There was supposedly, which I did not catch the first time, a lot of subliminal Disney messages in the movie that I caught the second time well more.
Like what did you see? Because I read about these subliminals and I was hard pressed to find any of them.
Well, because I didn't read the Wikipedia thing until after the second viewing. So I noticed that the two cops were named Mickey and Minnie.
Oh yeah, and that their dog is named Pluto.
That helmet thing. Then at one point there's like a car with Mickey Mouse ears on it.
Yeah.
One of the girls wears a Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse shirt and stuff. So I'm sure there's others.
I'm sure. Well, and supposedly he's done that thing that they do like in Fight Club, where there's just every so often there's like a frame in the movie. And I tried to find one to illustrate it. I did not spend a lot of time. Didn't find any. But I tried to research it on the internet because there are fan sites for this movie.
Oh my.
Although entertainingly, I found Mike Jitlov's own website is a fan site for his own movie.
Of course.
And at the bottom of it, he has links to other fan sites. Okay. Of the 6 links, one of them is still active.
Good.
But in any event, so I was trying to find out about these, and one of them said that during the garage sale, a guy buys the Wizard's magic bicycle, his Pee-wee's Big Adventure rip-off bicycle.
Yes.
He buys it at the garage sale, and it kind of electrocutes him because the bike electrocutes everyone.
Yeah.
And supposedly during that, there are several subliminal flashes that, according to this commenter, are anti-taxation subliminals.
Okay.
And again, I didn't do a ton of. I looked at it. I went frame by frame, didn't see any. So I don't know if it's just the version on YouTube isn't that great or what.
Yeah.
But at the same time, going to Jitlov's website, there's also sort of thinly veiled things about how taxes are no good, and there's a line earlier in the movie where he has sold his car.
Yeah, and he had to sell his property to pay property taxes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This guy has a real problem with the deal.
Yeah.
But
going back to the bicycle and what I hope you put this part in the show later because it's my favorite joke in the movie.
Okay.
Is when the bike is outside somewhere and there's a whole line of people connected to each other getting shocked buy the bicycle.
Paying us the money.
Not enough to do it in 3 weeks.
They make special effects commercials in a day or two.
Yeah, with 3 months of planning, scripts, storyboards, sets and props, and movie stars, and the music's already done. Excuse me.
Well, let's get Steve. He can make music with anything.
And it pays off in the end when he gets them all off the bicycle and they all stop being electrocuted. And like the girlfriend of the first guy just starts beating him up. And that's hilarious to me. That's the best joke in the movie.
Now, you mentioned that, and I rewatched that scene today, obviously. Why are all of these people doing... So one guy touches the bike and gets electrocuted.
Yep.
Because he's trying to steal it, theoretically.
Yeah, you're right. Second guy that tries it.
Second person I can see tries to like pull him off of the bike or something.
Yeah.
There's no way that line gets to be more than 3 to 4 people.
Yeah, but it's funny looking though, isn't it?
Well, because they're all going.
Yeah, and there's some good like shots coming off the last lady, so it looks cool.
Yeah, I suppose. I just couldn't get over how much it seemed like Pee-wee.
Yeah, here's the deal, man.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in this movie is played to the extreme. There isn't subtlety in this movie.
There is not subtlety in this movie.
Everything is overacted.
But I feel like the movie thinks there is subtlety in the movie.
Nope.
Now, you have mentioned a few times the wizard Mike the special effects guy.
Mike.
Just a regular guy who likes special effects.
Yep.
He has magical powers.
Yes.
What the hell?
Well, I'm not sure that he does.
That's it. Well, but it seems like he does for sure, because there's a scene in the movie where he finally gets like the check from the movie producer for the money he's owed.
Right.
Because incidentally, part of his goal is to make a movie and get it seen, but he really cares about that check. Dude, not that he shouldn't.
Right.
But the priorities of the movie as a movie are a little bit strange.
Yep.
In any event, he's like looking at the check and gets really angry, and then he teleports.
Does he?
Yes.
But where does he go?
He teleports to the place where they're transferring the film to video or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But I'm gonna say my favorite part of the movie.
All right.
And in a lot of ways, the most alarming part of the movie to me.
I have an idea of where you're going, but I'm gonna let you do it.
And definitely a magical powers scene is not for the first and not for the last time.
Uh-huh.
He is up against the powers that be, and in this case, it is the like front office secretary of a TV show
of Dr. Magic.
Of Dr. Magic, and he is supposed to drop off his demo reel, which he's all bent out of shape that they moved the deadline up on instead of just being like, well, that's the way it works sometimes.
Yep.
Shows up, insists on personally projecting it, even though there's a whole stack of other people's demos that need to be looked at.
Right.
The lady watches it for a couple seconds, is really mean to him.
Yeah.
He leaves, then he gets the headache, goes back into the office, and has this telepathic vision of this truly bizarre a bondage scene that she had played out with some dude in the office the night before.
In a paper bag.
Where the guy's wearing a paper bag, and she's riding him and has a riding crop.
What are you doing back?
Last night in the office when everyone left.
Giddy up! Faster! Come on! Giddy up! How did you know about that?
It's a special effect.
Yep. All right, now.
What was that?
Now let me throw this at you.
What was that?
Here's why I don't think he has magical powers. We see that scene, right? There's no arguing that it happens, but I think that all these magical power things are what he wishes would happen. They're like things only in his mind. Because
yeah.
Let me finish.
Okay.
When earlier in the film, or I'm not sure the time frame of this, when a puzzle falls to the ground.
Yes, I noticed this today too.
He magically puts it together, which, in my argument, is what he, in his mind, wants to happen. But the next day, that puzzle is not put together, and the cleaning robot toy has to clean it up. So he doesn't actually have magical powers. They're just in his mind. That's what he wants to happen.
I hear you. And like after that happens, he says something to the effect of, I wish I could do that in real life.
Right.
And I'm with you, but the movie doesn't differentiate between what is real and what is fantasy.
I know. But that's what's going on.
I would agree with you. And of course, the question is if he actually had these magical powers, why doesn't he use them a little more proactively?
Right. He just would have made the movie magically.
Right. And again, I also, like, I wish they would have picked one way or the other, you know? Like, because if we're gonna have these fantasies, like these fantasy revenge sequences, I would one, like to see more of them.
Right.
And two, so his fantasy of his comeuppance upon this secretary is to expose her for some sort of bizarre sexual act. That's really alarming.
Well, that's like the most really embarrassing thing you can do.
It's really masochistic.
Yep. This is not a nice man.
No, it's really what's the word I'm looking for?
Disturbing? Diabolical?
No, it's an M word. It's an M word for like when men lord things over women.
The misogynist?
That's the one. It's really misogynist.
Okay.
And it's creepy. It has no place in this movie that is supposedly like, you know, a flight of, you know, a lighthearted fantasy movie.
Right. Now, while I claim that my argument is that these aren't really happening, I have no explanation for two things.
Okay, let's lay them on me, sister.
The first being him plugging all their power into the plants.
Yes, he has power plants.
Right.
He has plants in his garden that supply electricity.
And number two, you made me lose my train of thought. Let me think about, the secretary being a robot?
Thank you for bringing up the robotic secretary.
Yeah.
Because at a certain point at the end of the movie, he unplugs a different secretary.
Right.
She's a robot.
Mm-hmm.
Does that not make her the greatest special effect?
Longer with the studio. Hollywood Studios. No, I'm sorry, he's dead. Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios. Oh no, Mr.
I think so. Now, when he unplugs her, does it look like she is like? I'm confused as to whether they like stopped her like in film or if she personally is just frozen there.
I think she just
by
froze.
herself. Like she does a great job.
I think she just went.
She does a really good job. You have to watch it again. You're not doing such a great job. She does a great job.
Well, I'm not a professional actress. There's another alarming thing for me. Well, let's. Okay. You know what? I'm going to shelf that for a minute.
Shelf it.
I'm putting a pin in it. Because this whole magic thing and this idea of fantasies and this really inconsistent tone of the movie really brings me to what I think is the way to fix this movie.
Okay.
Because I think there's a good movie in here somewhere.
No.
Yes, there is. And I think when I tell you my idea, I think you're going to be on board.
Okay.
It's just a simple casting change.
All right.
We kick Jitlob to the curb.
Jitlob's out.
The new star of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Do you care to guess?
Like what's my time frame of fame?
Contemporary
right now.
No, to this movie.
Oh, to then.
Yeah.
When it was filmed or when it was released?
I would say either one would work. I believe it's all within the wheelhouse.
Doc Brown.
Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Ernest.
Ooh, and this is an Ernest movie.
This is an Ernest movie.
This is pretty much Ernest Goes to Jail, right?
Yes, it is. Where Ernest's house is full of wacky inventions made by Ernest.
And he gets magnetized, so he's got like magic powers.
Right. He takes his baths in an industrial size clothing washing machine.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing that an Ernest movie has that this movie is completely lacking in.
Okay.
Innocence.
And those two guys.
Well, those two guys, obviously, the two guys that are in all the Ernest movies, you obviously replace the two crooks that are in this movie with those two guys.
No, absolutely not. I
don't
thought
know.
those two guys, those two crooks, the best part of the movie, best actors in the movie.
Possibly. I was really annoyed that...
The one is a flawless Canadian. I don't know why.
I'll tell you why, and this is the thing that really annoyed me, is late in the movie, the evil producer hires two actual criminals to try and stop Jitlov from making his movie. He outfits them with like old-timey policeman uniforms.
Yeah.
They steal a real police car.
Yeah.
And go about trying to stop Jitlov. One of the criminals is doing a Cheech and Chong impression.
No, he is from the Michael Jackson Bad video.
A little bit, but he's talking like he's Cheech and Chong.
All right.
And then the other guy is talking like he's Bob and Doug McKenzie.
Yep.
All right.
Nifty car, eh?
Yeah, this is sharp, man.
Yeah.
Cool
Hey,
car.
you believe in werewolves?
You ever see my sister Rosita? She got a teeth on the car.
I don't know, but they did a great job.
Fair enough. And certainly those two Ernest guys could just be the people helping him with a movie. But if instead of having this super cynical lead character, if it's just Ernest bumbling around and the man is trying to get Ernest down, like the bank manager in Ernest Goes to Jail.
Yep. Yeah.
Or the guy who's trying to buy the camp in Ernest Goes to Camp.
Right.
Or the guy who won't become Santa in Ernest Saves Christmas.
Yeah.
If you just have innocent Ernest just really wants to make a movie and everybody loves him, there's your movie.
That's a good point.
Ernest is the Wizard of Speed and Time.
I guess.
That's what I'm telling you.
Now let me ask you a few random questions.
Okay.
For the movie.
Random questions time.
Yep. Why or how does everybody know where Mike Jitlov lives?
It's an excellent question. I will assume the phone book.
Because the girl knows exactly where he lives.
Yes.
The producers know exactly where he lives. And they also know exactly where to find them at the end of the movie. They just kind of show up randomly.
Right, when he's moping because the president has interrupted the broadcast of the television special he's a part of.
Right.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Question number 2.
Yes.
Why did the cops fall in love at the end of the movie? Like, why did that happen? And she's in a relationship.
That's right, she has a husband or something, doesn't she?
Yeah.
So the two fake cops steal a real cop car from two real cops.
Yeah.
And so then there's a subplot about the real cops now driving a fake cop car trying to catch the fake cops. One of the cops is the guy from Miami Vice, the not Don Johnson guy.
And he used this movie
supposedly
to support the claim that he had acted as a cop before and got the Miami Vice part.
Right. And yes, you're right. At the end of the movie, they are shown the Miami Vice and his female partner are shown to have fallen in love.
Right.
No idea.
Okay.
I guess because love conquers all.
But why? Like, they're not really struggling that hard.
No, I don't. Again, it's the confused priorities of this movie, I guess. But I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
In your estimation,
yes,
which took longer? Making the short film that the movie is based on,
yes,
or the rest of this movie?
Do you have an answer for this?
I don't.
I've got to say it's the rest of this movie because I feel like this movie is based on his experience trying to make the original short, which aired on an episode of Disney's Wonderful World of Color, and in a very similar like special effects special episode.
Yeah.
So I assume that's what's going on. So presumably he did not have a ton of time to make that original short.
Right.
But I don't.
Last question I have.
Yes.
Are you familiar with The Big Bang Theory?
I am familiar with that abomination.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Are you familiar with the character of Sheldon Cooper?
The inexplicably Emmy Award-winning performance of Mr. Jim Parsons. Yes.
Is this movie his inspiration for that character, do you think?
Certainly could be.
Mike Jitlov is Sheldon Cooper.
Can we talk about how Mike Jitlov won't shake anybody's hand?
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's Sheldon Cooper.
Will he not shake people's hands?
Well, he didn't at first, I don't think. He doesn't like to touch people.
I don't watch that show.
Well, everybody else that's watching this right now is going, yep.
Oh, I know. It's the most popular show in the country.
Yeah.
I am well aware.
Yeah. And it's never explained why he won't shake hands.
No, but again, it's explained a little bit, like because somebody tries to shake his hand and he won't do it, and they call him on it. That same secretary who gets treated so shabbily.
Yeah.
She calls him out on it, and he's like, I don't know why you would want to shake a part of my body.
Miss Belair, if you feel compelled to grab part of my body and shake it before you can even be friendly, you've got far worse problems than you think I have.
Or something
Well, that
like
was like a sexual joke.
I didn't feel like it was a sexual joke. I felt like that was him being like very like, this is why I won't do it, and obviously that makes 100% sense.
Well, there's a couple other sexual jokes in the movie.
But they're all very low.
Thrown in.
Kind of. It's very weird.
Just like all the voiceover that's thrown in.
There's a lot of voiceover. There's a lot of ADR in this movie. Can we talk? So obviously the fantasy with the secretary, the creepiest thing.
Yes.
Number 2 for me has to be the African American actress who is friends with the love interest.
Uh-huh.
So there's the love interest character, and then she has an African American friend who has, especially for 1988, inexplicably racist dialogue.
You turkey, I don't need this job anyway. Come on, Cindy, let's get out of here.
Every single part of this movie that deals with a different race is racist.
Yeah, absolutely. But there's definitely, like when we first meet her, she gets like a big, say what?
Right.
And then she definitely calls a job jive.
Yep.
And refers to people as turkeys.
Yep.
In 1988.
But I will say she was using like the inversion table thing or whatever that thing is, so I don't...
Yeah, she was...
At least up to par with
She
that.
was sleeping upside down like Michael Keaton in Batman.
Yeah.
Whatever that was for.
I don't know. I wouldn't say she's creepy, but that's all very racist.
It's creepy that is in a movie that is as recent as this.
Very stereotypical things throughout.
It's the sort of thing that you would expect to get out of like a particularly bad Sanford and Son.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Here's the other taxation thing that I just thought of.
Okay.
When they're doing the wall run, they're like kicking down the IRS building, basically, and all the boxes are going crazy in the IRS building.
Which part is this?
When he's doing the wall run, across the wall, and it's in Hollywood, and he's like, oh, the Hollywood jumping wall is now open, and all like the tourists start jumping against the wall. So like that's the IRS building, and they're knocking down all the boxes, and the woman takes her tax sheet back and whatever.
What is that?
They're making a move! What is that thing?
Get security to the east wall!
That's fancy!
Maybe it's a poltergeist again!
It's so weird at every... Like, this movie is a revenge movie.
Yeah, it's one man's vendetta against Hollywood.
Well, against anything this guy has a vendetta, including... which includes litter bugs.
Yeah, litter bugs.
There's a scene early in the movie where there's a completely unnecessary like litter scene.
Yep.
I feel like I don't know. It's just so weird. My favorite part of the movie though is I liked the garage sale.
Yeah.
Because it was the greatest garage sale ever.
Now, yeah, I was going to ask you this.
Yes, please do.
Those were legitimate comic books, were they not?
Yeah. So he has his comic books for sale.
Yeah.
This movie is supposedly set in 1977, I believe. And in 1977, the collectible comics market wasn't what it is today, and so stuff would have gone for less money. Yeah. But he still has the very first appearance of Spider-Man on this pile, a lot of early Marvel stuff. He has what in the 70s would have been thousands of dollars worth of comics.
Yeah.
And which are today probably millions of dollars.
And people are tearing at these comic books. They had to have been destroyed.
Yeah, to use them as props seems, now it's hard to say obviously, but it doesn't seem like he had the budget to dummy up a bunch of reproductions or anything.
No, that would be a bunch.
Right. So presumably these are legitimate copies, which he is initially trying to sell for $1 a piece.
Yep.
Which is a great deal.
Yeah.
And then, a lot of this movie is inexplicable. Mm-hmm. Inexplicably may be my literally.
Okay.
Inexplicably.
Literally?
His friend Lucas.
Lucas?
His last name is Lucas. I don't remember what his first name is.
Brian.
His friend Brian steps in to reprice everything at the garage sale, which begins with that Mickey Mouse head prop. He says it's $5. He says it should be $70.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you, Brian. But then he decides the comic books should just be 10 cents a piece.
Yeah,
he knocks those down.
Yeah.
And people go ape. Yeah. Although that does have my favorite bit of ADR in the whole movie, because you can just barely hear some guys say something like, "Oh, I really love the Hulk."
My favorite ADR moment is when he's running with Cindy in his arms.
Yes.
And the old lady, she's probably Hungarian or something, she's walking back from somewhere, and a minute later, you hear this old woman say, "Only in America."
Only in America.
That's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one.
Why?
Looking at that sequence, the wizard run sequence.
Yes.
So he picks her up and transports her from, I don't know, Iowa or something to Hollywood at super speed.
Yeah.
She then gets a bunch of her friends together, and they all have signs of places that they want to go, I think.
Yeah.
But he just runs past them and magically turns their signs into little cardboard stars with their names on them.
Right.
And they are delighted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Delighted.
Absolutely.
Jerk move.
He's not a nice man.
He's not a nice guy. He's not a nice guy at all.
He's Mike Jitlov. He only cares about Mike Jitlov.
He does. He cares about Mike Jitlov a lot.
Yep.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I don't know if I have anything else. This was after that trailer, I was so excited for this movie.
Right.
And it could not have been, like we said, it's just so depressing.
Yeah, it's negative. Super negative.
There's a lot of the movie that deals with talking about budgeting things.
Yep.
Putting together budgets. There's a whole scene where they're trying to shoot outside, where they must say the word permit 100 times.
Scout to Wizard, over. 10-4. Mike, you've got a permit in case the police stop us, right? Permit? What permit? Permit.
Permits. And then the permit cops come.
By helicopter.
And two helicopters. And those guys just give up, apparently, because they drive into a cave.
Well, they're confused because they throw a green tarp over themselves. And the helicopter guys think it's a rock.
But I thought that was tongue-in-cheek by the cops.
Wait, come on.
Gee whiz, they just disappeared. I can't see them anywhere. Hey, let's land on that big green plastic rock. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think so. Because the one cop says, "Hey, do you want to try landing on that green rock?"
Yeah, because they know that it's not real.
Why would you say that?
Whoever goes, "Oh, let's go land on that huge."
Well, admittedly, it's a stupid
rock.
thing. It's a stupid thing to say either way.
Yeah.
But I think
tongue-in-cheek.
I think it's a less stupid thing if they actually wanted to try to do it.
Either way, all that voiceover by those cops is awful.
It's pretty bad. Well, almost as bad as all the voiceover at the pool party at the evil producer's house, where Jitlov has sank to the bottom of a pool to
pull the sandlot. He was pulling the sandlot.
Harvey, I've been waiting for Jetlov. Where is he? Hey, Lucky, how do you like the party? Pretty nice, huh? Called the office. I know he was there. Now, where's the film? What film? All he delivered were excuses. I don't believe that. Don't be a sore loser. Now, go finish editing the film.
Look, Ben, who's that man at the bottom of your pool?
Oh, Cece, don't worry about him. He's just a party crasher.
I never seen a party crasher do that.
Well, it just occurred to me what's literally going on in that scene, because he's trying to get his money from the producer. He is literally holding his breath until the producer agrees to give it the money.
Yeah.
But he goes to the bottom of the pool, and again, according to the internet, he he really did that. He just held his breath for like 2 minutes or something.
Okay.
And so then people are watching. That's this wide shot, and the producer's getting very excited and animated.
A lot of stereotypical talking in that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of ADR that's, oh, what are we going to do? What are you doing here? What's going on?
Yeah.
And since it's a 2-minute long scene, it is interminable.
And it ends poorly because he puts the check in the water, which would ruin the check.
Right.
So what's the point?
A check which even once it gets dried out, bounces.
Yeah. At the producer's bank?
I don't
know.
I don't understand this. I would understand this movie if it were an earnest movie.
And then the ADR in the theater at the very, very end.
Oh, over the credits.
Bad.
That's supposed to be the audience watching the movie. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty bad.
All of it's rough.
It was a thing I want to do as we progress in this show and we do more and more movies.
Okay.
Is I think we ought to rank the movies.
Uh-huh.
I am going to say Thunderground is a better movie.
Yeah, in all accounts.
Okay, I'm glad we agree.
Yeah, there's no question.
This is hardly the worst movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, it's not the worst.
It is no Aeon Flux.
Aeon Flux is bad, but has cool, weird things in it.
Certainly has better effects.
Yeah, yeah. For sure.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, just what a disappointment.
Real bad.
Real bad. You got anything else?
Let me look.
Okay, I'll look at my notes here.
I thought that the movie was basically just like ADD personified. Like Mike Jitlov is definitely on the spectrum somewhere.
I would disagree. I wish it was that.
Okay.
Because it's a very slow moving movie. At a lot of times. And if it had been more ADD, if it had been more like a Pee-wee movie or an Ernest movie where it's at least just really moving,
yeah,
that would have been something. I'm gonna take your diagnosis. I'm gonna flip it on its head.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this movie is OCD personified.
Okay.
Like this is a movie that is very fixated on minutia.
Yeah.
And everything being in its place.
Uh-huh.
And everything being just so and just the way he wants it to be.
Correct. Okay, I'll take it.
All right.
And one last question.
Yeah.
Why did we need the Woody Allen lookalike? Why? It could have been anybody.
I have so many questions about the Woody Allen lookalike. So many questions.
I literally thought it was him until I read the Wikipedia thing.
I did not think it was him.
Okay.
I do wonder, because at some point he had to decide, okay, it would be funny if Woody Allen must be a director he respects.
Okay.
Because otherwise, why would you pick? It's a choice.
Is it?
It is. Well, because it could have either not been a celebrity lookalike.
Yeah.
Or it could have not been in the movie at all.
Right.
So it's there. Is he friends with a Woody Allen impersonator? Did one wander by the set one day? did he specifically hire a Woody Allen impersonator? Now, you said that the thing that you read said it wasn't Woody Allen.
Right.
The thing that I read, I'm not sure if this was on IMDb or on Wikipedia, said it was Woody Allen. Now, it can't possibly have been Woody Allen.
No. No.
But, yeah, why about so many things?
Oh, and what happened to his mom? His mom disappears in the movie.
She's dead.
She's featured fairly prominently early on.
Right. She's in the movie at the beginning complaining about how he won't move out of her house, pretty much. And then there's a scene where he uses his telepathic powers to observe her dreams.
And she's just flicking through pictures.
Yeah, her dreams are her photo album.
Yeah.
Which which we see again, as he uses again later, to, I don't know, I guess show how he and, is her name Cindy?
Yeah.
How he and Cindy have fallen in love by showing both of their, like, whole lives next to each other through photographs.
And he really took a turn for the worse after high school, I thought. It's real gross.
If he just, I would say, lose the green jacket.
Cut that hair.
Get a better haircut.
And the glasses probably should go.
Well, he needs the glasses so that they can glow green. To everyone, everybody loves it.
Yeah.
Every time he turns to somebody and flashes those glasses, oh, they're delighted.
Or like when he flips a card out that has magic on it.
Right, his magical calling card. Oh my gosh. Well, I believe it is Cindy who he impresses in traffic at the beginning of the movie by going after the litter bug.
Right, and then that's when we get our sexual joke in the elevator.
Yeah.
Because she had clapped at him.
Right. Did you notice, she does have one of my favorite things in the movies, which is a bumper sticker that says, "Honk if you believe in unicorns."
Yeah, what the hell? Ooh, and he gave her the Melisandre pendant. Did you see that?
Yes, I did. I did not think about that, though.
Uh-huh.
He could be Azor Ahai returned to us.
There you go.
That would make, I'll tell you what, that makes as much sense as anybody else.
Yeah.
That could be coming.
In 3 years.
That's the end of our Game of Thrones segment.
Yeah, okay. For all the fans.
Right. All the nerds watch it. When this is viewed on YouTube, there's going to be 3 Game of Thrones comments.
Yeah.
And then a lot of comments about how we're jerks for not liking this movie. That's
fine.
That's going to be the predominant.
I'm all right with it. Movie's bad.
It's a pretty bad movie. It's so disappointing. So disappointing.
You know what? I'm gonna. If you haven't seen the movie, don't. Just watch the trailer.
I would say, yeah, that's a good. I would say watch the trailer. The trailer's great, and I would say watch, either through this movie or I would assume they're on YouTube. Watch his shorts.
Yeah.
His shorts are charming in a way that the feature never accomplishes, and which is weird because he's the star of the movie, and he's the star of the shorts.
Yeah.
But,
and he's like in the Wizard of Speed and Time thing, other than just as the wizard.
Is he?
Yeah, like when one part he's at like a baseball stadium or something.
Okay.
No, it's at the Olympics.
Yeah.
He finally lands and likes the thing.
Yeah.
Everybody puts 10s and he puts up a 9.7 and they all hit him in the head with their numbers.
But
so whatever.
But again, like he as an actor, or however, has a charm in those shorts that is completely missing.
Completely gone.
Here, and again, it's because and I'm sure part of that is because the shorts are silent.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't. Whenever he opens his mouth, it is trouble.
Except for when he sings. I'm alright with him singing in that one part.
Fair enough. But whenever he opens his mouth, it's to talk about how some part of life, some well-established part of life, is the worst.
Yeah, so don't watch the movie.
Nope.
Watch the shorts, watch the trailer, and I guess play the Toy Story 3 video game. The song is in it, I guess.
Oh yeah, and watch Ernest Goes to Jail.
All the Ernest.
Not all the Ernests.
Which one wouldn't you watch?
Well, I would not watch Ernest Rides Again.
Okay.
That's the one where with the cannon.
Probably Africa's out.
Yeah, any Ernest after Scared Stupid.
Okay.
Is out.
All right. But Scared Stupid is in.
Scared Stupid is in. I feel like I am not in the majority on that.
I like that one.
I like that one. I like the troll that doesn't like milk.
Yep.
He turns poor Ernest's dog into like a little wooden statue.
He turns many things into wooden statues.
I believe Ernest gets a lot of boogers on him in that movie.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh man, I keep thinking about this movie with Ernest in it. He could be his old lady character. He's trying to get the film cans out of the theater. He comes in with the neck brace on. Excuse me.
Is that where Tyler Perry got all of his inspiration from? Is that what's going on?
Yes.
Medea
is just that Ernest old lady character.
Because she's been to jail.
Yeah.
She's done a bunch of family stuff. She's probably done a Halloween thing.
Probably.
Camp. I'm sure there's been a camp.
I feel like every so often, I don't know. I have seen exactly one Tyler Perry movie.
I've seen Tyler Perry in movies.
Right. Well, I've seen Tyler Perry in movies. I saw the one with Kim Kardashian in it. I want to say Temptation.
No.
Is the name of it?
No.
I saw that. That is it. I've not seen any of the Medea movies. But my understanding of the Medea movies is that they're mostly like Medea, but that every so often there's one that's like really, really serious.
Yeah.
And there aren't any Ernest movies where things get real. Yeah,
Tyler Perry's the only one to take like that woman, like being the woman, like he's the one that goes serious with it.
Right.
Everybody else is a joke.
Yeah, it's not like there's a lot of really serious stuff going on in Tootsie.
Or Big Mama's House.
Or
Big Fire.
Or Big Mama's Like Father, Like Son.
Right. Or Arrested Development.
Oh boy. You said Mrs. Doubtfire. I think we're out.
No, there's got to be more.
There must be more.
The Clumps.
The Clumps. Can we use Joanna Man?
No, see, I think that's a different thing.
Okay. Because she's not fat?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair.
Or old.
That's fair. Shallow Hal, maybe?
Okay.
All right.
That kind of gets serious, though.
I suppose. Oh, man. So The Wizard of Speed and Time, avoid it.
Bad.
Avoid it, but do go home. Watch as many Ernest movies as you can.
That's what we're getting out of it.
I think that's the only thing you can get out of it.
And read those Game of Thrones books.
That's right. Look out for Melisandre. She is bad news. That scene where she has the shadow baby to infiltrate what's his name? Robert's brother. Not Stannis, the other one.
Kevin.
His name isn't Kevin, is it?
Kevin Lannister?
Not Kevin, Baratheon.
Oh, Baratheon. Stannis.
The younger
and Robert,
one.
That's all I know.
Well, anyway.
Yeah, that's too long ago, man.
She has that scene with the shadow baby.
That's
is
like book
straight
3.
up creepy.
Yeah.
Straight up creepy.
Yeah. I agree. I can't remember the little brother's name.
I can't either. Renly.
Yeah, Renly Baratheon.
Renly Baratheon. We have reached a whole new level of nerd right now.
You got the new book, didn't you? With the thing?
I did. I got the World of Ice and Fire.
Is it like the leathery type thing?
It is. It's a very nice. I had not seen. I had just heard about it. I had not seen it in the store.
I picked it up at Barnes & Noble yesterday. Looked at it. I didn't buy it.
It is a very nice looking book.
I am.
And I really like the illustrations because it's nice to see what all the stuff is supposed to look like.
I can't handle that.
Oh, I like that.
No,
I'm very visual.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm very visual, so I liked it.
Good.
Yeah. That is it for The Wizard of Speed and Time. We will see you next time when our movie will be The Maddening.
Ooh.
Starring Mr. Burt Reynolds.
Oh. I was hoping it was going to be Coach Madden.
It is not Coach Madden. It is Burt Reynolds, and I don't know anything else about it.
Great.
All
Looks
right.
great. Sounds great. Can't wait.
Can't wait. I'll see you next time.
See you later.
Bye.